Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Viseart's new Petite Fool palettes. These palettes, the concept, are all centered around French pastries, and even the shade names are based on French pastries. And they are super cute in size. They're miniatures, and they're basically half the size of a Petite Pro palette, which is what I have here. And a Petite Pro palette has 8 shades. The Petite Fool has 4 shades. The eyeshadow look that I have on my eyes today is using the Praline Palette, and let's take a look at the color story. Browns, bronze, beautiful, and this warm champagne shade here. They just match to a T, this whole color story. And these palettes are designed in such a way so that you can create complete looks with the 4 shades. And I would say some of these shadows here, you might even be able to use them as like a one and done shadow. So what we'll do in this video is look at each of the palettes, and I'll swatch them. I'll see if there's anything else in my Viseart collection that we can take out and compare against. Then we'll jump into the demo for this look. I'll have to come back in other videos to do looks for the rest of these palettes, but I am just so excited. I know what I'll be busy with this weekend. It's just to take my time playing these palettes and just experience their color story. Before we move on to the swatches, I do want to share the description of this whole Petite Fool line from Viseart's website. Introducing the Petite Fool eyeshadow collection. Inspired by dainty pastry delicacies, these miniature treats feature mouth-watering mattes perfectly paired with sparkling sugary shades within 4 scrumptious eyeshadow quads. Expertly crafted and baked to perfection, these charming color stories create delightfully decadent, eye-catching confections. Each magnetized miniature morsel is encased within brand new shimmering, bite-sized petite packaging. Whether you're craving the rich depth of chocolat or the caramel creaminess of praline, the berry beauty of framboise, or the languorously luscious Lila, you're sure to find a heavenly treat to satisfy your desire for sweets. We'll start first with the palette I used to create today's look, and this is Praline. And the shades as described on the website is Surratt is a warm brown with a shimmer finish. And then we have here Caramélisé, warm champagne with a shimmer finish. Praline, antique gold with a shimmer finish. And Piquant, sienna brown with a matte finish. Let's do the swatches now. The metallic shimmer shades are so soft to the touch. They just feel really beautiful. We have Surratt, just glides onto my wrist, and then followed by Caramélisé, Praline, and Piquant. It feels so smooth, and this color story is delicious. I'm just associating it with the pastry. And the palette itself is described as a chic confection of almond, caramel, and cream shades. I think we get exactly that. Let's move on to the other palettes. Next we have Lila. Lila is described as the creme de la creme of luminous luxe. And the shades are Fondant, Lila, Tiramisu, and Argent. Fondant, beautiful. Has like a silvery purple undertone, or a lilac undertone, sticking with the theme. Lila, which is lilac in English. Tiramisu, and then Argent. Ooh, bright, beautiful. Definitely cool tone based. I can see my outfit with this color story. I think this is the next palette I'm going to try to create a look with. Tiramisu, the swatch was really light, so I'm going to go back in again and see if we can get something more concentrated so you can see it a little bit better on my skin tone. I would use this shade Tiramisu and Lila, both either as a base color for the look and or also to kind of buff out any seams, just to make everything go together better and more gradient-like. And the two standout shades will be making up the rest of the look. I think you kind of center your look around these two for sure. Oh, and before we move on, like the other palette, I'll talk about each of the shade descriptions. So we have first here, Fondant, Iced Silver Rose with a shimmer finish, Lila, Light Muted Mauve with a matte finish, Tiramisu, Light Cool Taupe with a matte, Argenti, Silver with a shimmer finish. You know what's interesting to me is on the back of the kind of the sleeve that goes with the palette, Silver, Argent, is spelt differently than on the website. So if you're hearing me pronounce it a little bit differently, well, first of all, I'm not fluent in French, so there's that. But second, if it sounds really different, that's the reason why. Then we have the palette Framboise. Framboise is described as a delicately sweet souffle of luscious berries and cream. We'll start with Crème, which is a light beige pink with a matte finish. Blends right into my skin tone. And then we have Glaçage, pink champagne with a shimmer finish. Confiture, which is a medium pink red with a shimmer finish. And then Framboise, which is a soft dusty rose with a matte finish. Crème is definitely that beige shade, or the shade you use to blend out any harsh lines, and I was tempted to use Framboise as the cheek color today, but I figure something a little bit lighter would be better because I have such a neutral look on, but we might use this as a cheek shade when we create a look using this palette. Then I saved the most decadent for last. This is Chocolat. And Chocolat is described as a decadently rich melange of cocoa and honeycomb hues. This is Café Crème, terracotta nude with a matte finish. And then we have Pêche, rose gold nude with a shimmer finish. Oh, beautiful, gorgeous. And Orange Sanguine, orange copper with gold reflectively. Very interesting. I'm running out of room, so let's put the last one here. This is Ganache, milk chocolate brown with a matte finish. Looking at all the swatches like this, Lila definitely stands out with these very intense metallic shades. And then I'm very interested in this Orange Sanguine because of that orange metallic, which I don't think I have an orange metallic shade. Very interested to try out Chocolat. I would say the softest and most soft glam of the palettes is going to be Praline and Framboise. But yeah, beautiful. I think overall it's a beautiful collection, very beautiful color stories. Before we head on to the tutorial, I do want to mention that these palettes are made in the States and they have a shelf life of 36 months. And that is the same as the Petite Pro palettes, which are also made in the States and have a shelf life of 36 months. My Viseart palettes that are bigger, these are kind of the original palettes from the brand. These palettes are made in France. This is what they look like. I believe the packaging, the format has been updated since this. I've had this for a couple of years, but I was very curious to see if there are some matte shades on this palette that might be the same as the matte shades from this Petite full line. Maybe similar. It's not the same. Yeah. Might seem similar to this Chocolat at a glance, but no, they're totally two different undertones. And then looking at their 01 Neutral Matte Palette. This shade here might be similar to Piquant from the Praline Palette. They look very similar, but there's still, the undertone is still a bit different. I would say Piquant is warmer, whereas this one here from the 01 Neutral Mattes, it's a cooler brown. And while we're doing comparisons, I really find that this shade here from Lila might be kind of similar to this metallic shade from Flower Beauty's Jungle Lights palette. Okay, I see here. Much more purple lavender versus silver. I'd be interested to mix and match between the two to create a look so beautiful. All right, well, let's head on to the tutorial. I will see you guys at the end. We're gonna start by putting Piquant onto the outer corners. And we're taking this brush to diffuse some of that shade. And then we're taking Tiramisu and we're placing that onto the center of the lid. And I'm actually just gonna go in this direction here because we're also using that to transition from the deeper shade. And then we're going to buff out. Taking Shu, we are adding that to the inner corners and then to the crease as well, using the shade to kind of buff out any harsh lines. For under the eyes, we're going to use Piquant and we're going to tightline. Then we're going to dip into Caramelise and we're adding that to the brow bone. And we'll add some to the inner corners. Then we're taking Chantecaille Les Paillettes and we'll use that as a kind of all over cheek highlight. I'm just brushing over kind of the entire palette. For lips, I'm going to go with Chantecaille's Lip Chic, and this is in the shade Lupine. This is the finished look. I really am enjoying this look. It is so easy on the eyes, but it's still interesting because look how shimmery that warm champagne shade is. And if I wanted to add that onto the center of my lid, I could totally do that and it just, change the focal point. So I love that about Viseart. It's beautiful and soft, but not boring. And my experience with their products or formula, easy to use, no fuss. Fallout is minimal as well. So whether you are a beginner to novice to somebody who just really wants to experiment with different colors, I think you're going to find a lot of joy out of these small miniature palettes. And the fact that they center the whole theme around pastries and it's the holidays, it just goes so well together. So if you're thinking about getting, small palettes just to have them on your vanity so you can quickly create a look and know that it's going to be beautiful, here you are. This is it. And I'm sure everybody's going to find a color story they might enjoy from these 4 different options. And I'm definitely going to be spending quite a bit of time this weekend to create more looks and put them into videos to share with you guys. So if you're not in a hurry to get the palette, please stay tuned for more demos. I'll be back with them very soon here. Thank you guys for watching. As we approach 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I want to thank you for your support. We will have a giveaway very, very soon. And if you have any questions for me, I'll also be doing a get to know me tag video. So if you have any questions that you'd like for me to answer, please go ahead and comment below. Thanks for watching again. See you later. Take care. Bye.